Here's everything I picked up this week. Starting with toys, my good friends at 204 Comics were kind enough to give me a couple Marvel Legends on the house for me to review. So I chose this Black Widow Deadly Origin. I think in Canada this was originally a Toys R Us exclusive, so I'm happy to have that. This is a great figure for customs. I'm thinking I'm going to make a Yelena out of this. And then I have got a Moira McTaggart. This one is an underrated figure. You can make a lot of customs out of Moira, and it's just good to have civilians on the shelf. And she was pretty integral to the Krakoan era, and I was a big fan of Krakoan X-Men. So thank you, 204 Comics. I'm very happy to have these, and you'll see a review on them this coming week. There's a decent amount of Star Wars Black Series pre-orders that I thought were overdue finally came in. So these assassin droids and Bacara here were supposed to release a couple months ago, and definitely not at the same time as Rex, I don't think. Let me know. I'm fairly certain these are late. The thing with Rex here is this is his Phase 1 armor, which I have wanted in the line for a while now. And I know he was more of a fresh clone at the time, and by the time he had his Phase 3 armor here, he was more rough and tumble. He experienced some shit. But still, I think the difference between this and this, it speaks more to the decline in paint apps in the Star Wars Black Series line. This Rex, he's grimy, he's dirty, and he looks more realistic for it. There's something about the plastic they use for the armor as well. It's more like a natural shiny, and this one's it's matte. It's still a good figure, and the articulation is better on this newer one. Oh, but this Rex is just tough to beat. It's just a good looking guy. Also got Commander Bacara here. I think the top of his helmet looks a little off. If you look at the back of the box, it forms more of like an angry look, and this one, it goes more of an upward circle, so he looks just kind of sad. Mine also on his belt buckle there, he has like a little string sticking out from his belt, and I don't think it's supposed to look like that. And then I have two commando droids. I don't quite remember what these guys are supposed to look like color-wise. And these guys have a nice dry brush to them, they do. But they have a slight purple to them, and I don't remember that. I remember them being more gunmetal. Let me know if I'm wrong. Then finally for toys, on Mandarake I was able to find Full Power Frieza. This was a P Bandai exclusive. P Bandais, they don't ship to Canada, so they're a real pain to get here. And the only option really is to import them from places that happen to secondhand sell P Bandai releases. So this is gonna go great with that Full Power Goku that I have. And then I would like Bulma, Trunks, and Gohan in their Namek looks, and then I think I'm good on Namek after that. I'm not a Dragon Ball super fan who's going all in on Namek getting Nail. I'm happy for every Dragon Ball fan that Nail's getting an S.H.Figuarts, but Nail, I don't care, not for me. Now with Frieza, that's all for toys, on to comics. For comics, also from 204 Comics, Canada's premier comic book shop, I got Batgirl number 7, Deadpool number 14, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe One Last Time, issue 2, the newest Chip Zdarsky news, West Coast Avengers issue 7, Army of Darkness vs. Red Sonja issue 1, and Black Canary Best of the Best issue 6. And then finally, I have a Reviver here. This is from a little initiative 204 does with a school down the street where school kids in, I think it was grade 3 or 4, they come into 204, check out some comic books, go back, make a project at school, and then they come back with the completed project, trade it 1-for-1 for comics at 204, and then Ashley there sells them and gives all the money that they make from this to the Children's Hospital. So it's a real nice initiative. This one was Reviver, which I wouldn't have thought to name a superhero that in grade 3, so I was like, mad respect, Kendrick. This was about a graveyard keeper who gets possessed by a ghost, and then he gains the power to revive the dead as his zombie horde. So, very creative, Kendrick. Good on you. Then for trades, 204 ordered me in this Annihilation omnibus. Annihilation is a story I've wanted to read since high school, and this is my second omnibus, so I'm looking forward to reading this. This will be a good time. I read the Abnett and Lanning Guardians of the Galaxy run recently, and they mentioned Annihilation a lot, and I knew generally what happens in the story, so I could follow along fine, but now finally get to dig in. So I'm gonna get Annihilation Conquest soon too, hopefully, and then, yeah, good stuff. And then from cheap bins, I was able to find this week X-Men Deadly Genesis and X-Men Messiah Complex. This is the last of the Messiah trilogy I needed, and it's the first one. And I've been hunting this down for a while now, pretty excited to have it. So there's everything I picked up this week. Thanks again to 204 Comics, and be sure to let me know what you're reading and what you want to see reviewed first.